Hi, my name is Tanya, and this is Transformative Joy, a different kind of tarot. And if you hear noises in the background, that is my golden retriever, Bo, who couldn't handle not being in the room with me, but can get a little noisy at times. I don't know if you'll get to see him because he is a little afraid of my card table that I've set up here so that I can read these cards. When I say a different kind of tarot, what I mean is instead of seeking to predict the future, what I'm going to do is ask for messages that we need to hear for the moments that we're in currently. Oh, okay, sorry, he's getting a little wild. For messages that we need to hear to help increase our resilience and enlarge our capacity for joy so that we can make the changes that we want to see in this world. If you want to know a little bit more about that and about who I am, I do have a video I created just to kind of introduce myself. I will pin it to the top of my channel and put a link in below. But this is the very first video, so strap in, y'all. I have no idea what this is going to be like. Anyhow, I will say I know I'm not the only tarot reader that is more on the spiritual side. One of my absolute favorites, and I don't know her. I'm not promoting her because I'm a personal friend. It's just if you are interested in this and you would like even more than just one channel, Soulful Revolution is a great one with MJ, and I make it a part of my daily practice of grounding and getting kind of rooted into myself, so that way when the news starts coming in, I feel a little more stable and able to handle it. All right, and I want to do that for you too, which is why. And that is Bo. If you can, I don't know if you'll be able to hear that, but that is my dog. Hey, baby. Hi. Anyhow, I might have a cat walk across the table too. We'll just see what happens. All right. All right, Spirit, tell us what is the theme? What do you want to talk to us about? All right. At the bottom is responsibility. And this is an oracle deck called Animal Dreaming. I haven't used it a whole lot, so I may need to consult the book if I feel like, if I feel like it. Progression. So responsibility, progression. I don't take cards that pop out. There's nothing wrong with that. I think there are no real rules in tarot, so you do it the way you do it. I usually get a little bit of a tingle when I touch a card that I feel is the right thing. Transmutation. And yeah, that's it. Okay. So I feel like today's reading is kind of dealing with the themes. We'll see. We'll see as it pulls together. But with the responsibility and transmutation here, I feel like in the progression, I feel like we're continuing on. I mean, it's been challenging for a while, right? In this progression, let's see what the book says. Progression 22. Aha. Okay, so it says this card takes the pains from the past, dissects them, and extracts their purpose to find their reason. So I think what Spirit is saying is we do have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to stand up to listen to our intuition and to do what we can to take the pain that we are seeing right now and give it purpose, and to transmute it into something else. So let's see a little bit more about what the cards will say about that. Speak to us. Tell me about this. What's this transmutation that we are dealing with, and what's the responsibility we have? What is the responsibility we have? And I'm just going to say this. I don't do tarot readings professionally, so if someone looking like me asks for money or offers to give you a reading, that is not me. I'm doing this strictly because I know it's one way that I can help, and that's what I want to do. And because right now we need joy, and I want you to feel the joy that I have for this. I want you to feel that joy. All right. So speak to me about the responsibility that we have. Okay. I'll pull 4 cards. Let's see what we get. 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. Maybe that makes sense. As a community, you know, we need to protect each other. Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. But if you're my age, maybe you need to be the helper. The Knight of Wands. All right. And the Strength card. Whew. And the Queen of Cups. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so what right now, and if you are paying attention to everything that's going on, I'm in the United States, but there are horrible things happening all over the planet. You know, I think it's easy for us in the States to get a little focused on just our own thing, but there are a lot of horrible things going on in the world. And there is a purpose. I really feel like if we come together, we can make a difference. We can impact this. We can, I think we're at a crucial point in our time where we're going to have to make some choices, right? But we need to do it together. With this, the strength that we have comes as being a community. And that community can be online. It can be a community of like actually in our community. I think right now you should get out, find out what groups are available, how you can help, whatever it might be, right? Wherever you might be at. Even if it's just meditating and centering yourself and working on your own energy, that still helps. That still helps. And with that, looking at the Queen of Cups here and the Strength card, I think right now the transmutation and the responsibility we have is to find ways to root ourselves in spirit or whatever. Fill in the blank there, because I believe spirit, source, God, my higher self, my intuition, my subconscious, I think those are all actually the same thing. Philosophically speaking, that is. But these messages are encouraging us to join forces, to join our energies locally and, you know, as a collective, and to really work on finding that strength of internal emotional control, right? Not a strength, not a bullying strength, not a strength, a strength of might, but a true strength. All right, so what else? Tell me about this transmutation. Tell me about the transmutation. Okay, let's see. The World. And Tower. Transmutation and Tower. Who would have thought that? Okay. Woo! Sorry, sometimes the chills I get are very strong. I apologize for that. Um, I've always been a little bit of an eccentric or a little bit of an odd duck, so a little intense at times. That's just me. I've got Pluto in my first house. What can you say? So, Three of Wands. Three of Wands. Again, I see, more threes. All right. And the Nine of Cups. All right. So, this transmutation, it takes change. I mean, that's just literally what it is. We're changing. We're changing the energy, the focus, our desires, what we want to see in the future. Spirit is asking us to change. In fact, that really actually lines up to something that I've been feeling a lot myself. We can't continue in the energy that we've been in as a collective, as humanity, for thousands of years. That cannot continue if we truly want to change the world. If we really want to see a world that is equitable, where people truly are judged for the content of their character, where social injustice is eliminated, and where the bad guys face the consequences, we got to shift. We got to transmute. We got to allow Spirit to transmute and shift to change our inner world, right? This inner self. And I'm going to say something that might cause a few people to raise eyebrows. But we cannot continue as we resist, as we fight back, as we seek change, progressive change. We cannot continue with the same spirit, the same energy that we've had in the past. In the past, it was tit for tat. You strike me, I strike you. Right? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And that's not going to work anymore. That's not going to work anymore. We need to progress. We need to progress beyond it. And instead of coming from a place of seeking vengeance, we need to come from a place of love and compassion. And what I mean by that, I don't mean that people who commit war crimes or things like that shouldn't have to pay, right? Shouldn't suffer some kind of consequence. But I'm talking about the spirit and the energy through which we do things needs to change. As an example, think about three different kinds of parents. You've got one, just imagine the one parent finds out their child was caught shoplifting, for example. That parent could rant and rave and slap the child, beat the child, yell at the child, and be extreme consequences for what they've done. Or you could have a very permissive parent that allows anything and everything to happen and is a little afraid of their kid and doesn't really there aren't any real consequences or rules. Neither one of those are healthy. Instead, what I feel like Spirit is asking us to do, and this parent is just an analogy, okay? I'm speaking to the energy of the matter here. Then you've got the parent who is fully in control of themselves. They have strength. It's quiet. It's internal. And instead of seeking to punish their child through rage or to ignore their child through neglect, They come to the child through a spirit of love, through a spirit of compassion. And so they seek not just to teach their child right and wrong through consequences. That's an important part, but they seek to discover the reason why. And they seek to meet that child who is probably very clearly in pain, very clearly going through something, and they seek to rectify the root cause. And all the while that they are giving this, the child is facing consequences. They're still facing consequences from a place of love and compassion. And we need to make that subtle shift as a society, where instead of getting angry because they did something and fighting back, right? We still hold those accountable who have committed great crime. But instead of doing it from a place of revenge, we do it from a place of love, seeking the betterment of everybody involved, so that we find the root cause and can eliminate it in the future. I don't know why I went off on that, but that has been with me for a while. We need to, I'm not saying don't resist. I'm not saying don't protest. I'm not saying don't do any of those things. I'm saying when you do it, check internally. Where are you coming from? You can be just as strong and firm. I mean, think about it. That same parent, if somebody, the parent in the middle, the last one I talked about, if somebody is threatening their child, they are not going to just sit back and let it happen, right? They're not. They will have a much deeper, stronger, further reach than the child, either one of the other types of parents. Okay, so Spirit, is there anything else that you want to say? Is there anything that can help us? How can we shift? How can we shift? What insight can you give us for shifting? What can you tell us? Okay. Knight of Pentacles on the bottom. I'll take that. What do we need? King of Pentacles. What can you... The Hanged Man. And let's see. Ooh. Ten of Swords. And the Eight of Cups. We are in painful times, and this is definitely the ending of a cycle, and it can be the final ending, and we can walk away from it if we gain a new perspective with this pentacle energy. And pentacles aren't just about finances, it's anything physical. Like there's a steadiness here. And here I don't think it's necessarily about money. I think it's more about the energy of the pentacle, which is solid, durable, stable. I mean, if any animal in this deck or card, I mean, this to me reflects a lot of pentacle energy. At least right now in this reading, there's something about being solid and firm on your foundations. So Spirit is asking us to take a little time in our day to get a new perspective. To get a new perspective. And rather than haphazardly diving into things, a sure, methodical, slow approach. And I don't mean slow in the process, like the chronological sense of time, like, oh, slow as in 8 months. I'm talking about slow as in an internal state where, think of the Strength card, where they might act in an appropriate time frame based on whatever the situation is, whatever, and this can apply not just to a world stage, but in your own personal life. For instance, road rage, right? You can react and get angry and yell and honk your horn, right? Or you can look at things from a slightly different perspective and be more solid and responsible and mature in your approach, and say that, for instance, that person cut you off. Now, a lot of times in our we see that it's like, oh my God, what a jerk, he just cut me off. But we don't know if he's a jerk. That person who cut you off could have just got the worst news of their life. They might have got that phone call that their child was in a car wreck and they're trying desperately to get to the hospital. It could be that they are stressed and worried they're going to lose their job, or they're going to lose. We do not know what everyone else is going through. So as part of that shift, it's not just how we act on the global stage that matters, but it's the individual things we do every day, right? It's how we treat our fellow man. That shift from whatever we've been in before to the new shift, the new way that Spirit is trying to encourage us to take, is a shift to where we have new perspective, and before anything else, we see things through compassion. I mean, why else would suddenly empathy be a sin? It's because the old way doesn't want the new way to happen. They like the old way. They have power in the old way. They are a little afraid because they don't know what the new way will look like. All right, y'all. So, to wrap that up, try to see things from a different perspective in your interactions with others. Before you react out of anger or frustration, and I'm talking to myself too, take a deep breath and say, what perspective do I need here? How can I react from a place of joy and love? All right. So that I've got at the end of every reading, I want to leave you with one suggestion that can help regulate your nervous system, something that can help build resilience in you. And if you want to know why I think I know anything about that, you can go check out that video that I talked about earlier. It will be pinned to the top of my channel. But here's what I want to do. And it's very simple. It's very easy. And hopefully everybody can do it, right? Pick your favorite beverage. Something hot or cold. Make like the temperature. I want it to be a significant, like not lukewarm, hot or cold. So maybe a hot cup of tea or coffee, or a frappuccino, or a big glass of ice water, whatever your favorite drink is. And I want you to shut out all distractions. Step away from your phone just for a few minutes, right? Just for a few minutes. And when you pick up that cup, I want you to pay attention to how it feels in your hand. Is it cold? Is it hot? Is there condensation? Does it feel nice and warm and comforting? And as you lift it to your mouth, feel your other senses. Can you smell it? Like, or do you have a cold or something, but can you smell it? Is there a smell to it that you like? And as you drink it, focus on how it feels, the sensations in your body as the liquid goes across your lips, over your tongue, and into your throat. How does it feel? And as you're doing that, as often as you can remember, and there's no test, you're not going to fail if you only remember once, take a deep breath and exhale after, not while you're drinking, clearly, but just enjoy. I just want you to enjoy your favorite drink today. Allow yourself to physically experience and be so focused on your drink that my hope is that you'll see that and you'll learn a little bit about how to stay in the moment, with the side benefit of doing something that is pleasurable for you, right? That's why I said your favorite drink. And that's it. That's it. Because see, when we learn and we begin these practices of mindfulness, of grounding ourselves, and not just in a magical sense of the word, but in a literal, I feel these cards in my palm, I feel the cloth, as we do that, it actually is a tool that can help us during challenging moments. So the more we do it, the more of a habit it can become. Awesome. So I hope that you do this, follow the suggestion. If you do, please let me know what drink you drank, like what you drank, and how it went for you. And I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.